Hi, and welcome back to week 2 of the journey to self-love. I hope you really enjoyed week 1 and you got some benefits from it, and you continue to do the homework from last week. We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. For those people who are joining us for the first time, please go back and watch our week 1 video first, because you will need some of the stuff that we talked about from that video in this video. So if you are tuning in for the first time, welcome. I'm happy to have you here and hope to see you over the weeks. But please go back to the first video. Just want a reminder, last week we talked about what self-love was, how important it is to you, and then we did some activities. So how did you go with adding to your self-love list, your positive list of things that you love or like about yourself? And did you scale them? Tell me in the comments how you went. Also, I got you to watch our meditation affirmation video on forgiveness. So if you had success with that, I hope you saw it at least once a day, saying to yourself, I forgive myself for my mistakes, and I no longer allow the attached negative emotions to have a hold over me. And I hope that's stuck in your head and you've started on the road to forgiveness. And just remember, all the activities we did last week is something you need to do every day. Even people that do love themselves, they're at that point, always will come up where they need to remind themselves to forgive themselves, to add to their list of things they like about themselves. This will do nothing but build your positivity about yourself, build your self-love, build your self-worth. So it's really, really important in our journey to self-love. But the first thing we're going to do is ask you, how are you feeling? Last week we asked you at the start, how are you feeling in terms of self-love? You gave yourself a mark out of 10. You scaled your thing. Let's scale you again this week. Let's see if there's been a difference, hopefully positive. But just think about, if it has gone down or you're plateaued the same, ask yourself, did I work hard enough? Did I forgive myself? Did I talk about my self-love? Did I write on my positives list? Did I really search inside myself to find the things that I do find positive about myself? Pop it in the comments. I'd love to see your scores. That would be really good to see, especially if you have made a positive effect this week. We're only at the start of the journey. This is a lifetime journey. Not my courses, but the actual journey to self-love is a lifetime journey. So keep it going. Also, if you could like, subscribe, and comment on this course so far, I'd appreciate that. So moving on to this week, what are we going to be looking at? Well, we're still going to be looking at affirmations. What are affirmations? Why we do affirmations and how we can make our own. And that will be our first activity, about making our own affirmations. But what are affirmations? Well, affirmations are generally positive. They are I statement. They are beneficial to you when you say the word I, because you're talking about yourself. It's the same in behavior management. When we're having an argument with somebody, don't say you say I, and it's less confrontational. But it's also talking about yourself. Only you know exactly where your head is. So using I statements in a positive way is going to boost your self-esteem, boost your self-love, boost your self-worth. So I statements are really, really important. In the media, when we look at some videos, some people say, oh, I statements don't work. And you've even got psychologists and people who have that accreditation saying, oh, they don't work. But they do. And the reason they don't is because the person saying the affirmation does not believe it, and they give up. We are not going to just look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful, if we don't really feel that. We have to start with the things we do know. And that's why last week's lists of positive are a really good start, because they're things you semi-believe, because we've scaled them. You might be a 6 out of 10. You could be a 10 out of 10. So you really are in belief of what you feel about yourself. But if you say you're beautiful and you're not, and you give up because you think, this is stupid, I don't really feel that way. So what I want you to do is, with this activities that we'll be doing today, I want you to keep going with it. You will feel that. And the proof that it works, affirmations and things that go into your head, that neuroplasticity that creates a thought pattern for you because of the environment, because what other people are saying. An example, and I use myself because I don't like to use other people, is my father used to call me stupid all the time. Not every minute of the day, not every day, but regularly, so regularly that I started to believe it. So if it works in a negative way, it's going to work in a positive way. So if you tell yourself, I'm good at talking to people, I'm really good at talking to people, and you tell yourself over time and you practice it. All these activities are practice. It's not a quick fix. Like, I'm 57 years old. I am having to rebuild thoughts that have been put in my head from 30, 40 years ago. So we're having to declutter our minds. So one of the most important things you need to do with affirmations is practice. But make them specific to yourself. Like, I am confident talking to people. You could be walking down the street. You could be having a shower. It doesn't really matter. We're going to do an exercise that is really linked to a very visual recognition of your I statements. So we're going to go into our first activity today, and we're going to look at the list of positives about yourself. And I want you to pick 3 out. Now, in terms of I statements, we're going to make those positives that you've picked out for yourself into an I statement. So when you make your I statements, obviously you start with I. It can be I am, I will, I can. Try and make them positive words, like I'll try is not what we want you to do. We really want you to go for the 100%. But again, it's got to be something on your positive list. So probably best to pick the ones that you're at a 6, 7, 8 about. Try and get it up to a 10, 9 or 10. We want to pick those ones. The ones that are 10s, I'm thinking if you've already scaled it as a 10, you've already believe it. So let's not practice those ones. Let's practice some new ones. If you want to, as I said, I don't know what you're doing, so you can practice whichever ones you want to practice. But just pick 3 for the moment. And if you haven't got 3 on your list, that's fine. Just try and work harder at finding the positives in yourself this week. But be very specific. Make them really centered on you. So for example, if you've got something like, I am really friendly. So don't just say, I am really friendly. Say, I am friendly to those people that need my friendship, or something like that. But be specific to you. Don't copy that one, because it might not be specific to you. It's got to be really specific to you. As I've always said, this is all just about you. You can write whatever you like. No one's going to know unless you tell them. And if you would like, put some in the comments. And I'm quite happy to give you a thumbs up, or tell you how much I love it. So please do say that. So I'm going to get you to pause the video. I want you to start with 3 of your positive list. I want you to write I statements for all 3. Remember, being very specific to you. So pause the video. Hi, welcome back. I hope you got some good affirmations down for yourself, because now we're going to use them with a mirror. But before we do, I want you to think about why self-love affirmations are important. There are 4 key areas. It's for self-compassion, so you can forgive yourself and help yourself feel compassionate to others as well. Positive thinking, change into positive mindset. Motivation to carry on and do things, keep going. Motivations to improve yourself. And the last final one is what we've been talking about a lot, is emotional well-being, high regard to your self-worth, self-respect, self-love. So what we're going to do with those affirmations is we're going to use a mirror. We're going to look straight into our eyes, and we're going to say the affirmation over. Now, at least 5 times. Keep your eyes open, stare into your eyes. There are activities out there which involve staring that can actually form love bonds. If you stare at each other for a minute without saying a thing, but you really stare without, like what I'm doing now, really stare, don't blink, it can actually bond. And your mind is an incredible piece of work that can help you build positive bridges in your mind and in your memories and in your bond with yourself. So using mirrors helps that process in your mind. You're like talking to somebody else. So you're telling somebody else without the ego. Look into your eyes, say your affirmation 5 times. At least you can say it 10. If you want to stand there for 3 minutes and say it 60 times, it's up to you. But let's start small, because I don't want you to have these things as tedious. This could be when you're brushing your teeth. It doesn't have to be a separate event. For ladies who use compact mirrors, you're out doing your lipstick, you could quickly throw in an affirmation then. So it's really, really important we learn this process. As you can see, there's an example of me doing an affirmation 5 times in a mirror. Hi, and welcome to this mirroring activity. It's not mirroring in terms of the psychology of it, where you're copying other people. We're just using mirrors to help with affirmations. So I'm someone who feels comfortable with new experiences coming into my life, and I enjoy that, and it's a positive for me because it brings me out, it makes me motivated, it helps me be proud of myself. So there's lots of good things that come out of this. So this is an affirmation for me, just to remind me that I am good at welcoming in new opportunities. So this is just what I would do. I would probably do more than 5. I'm only going to do 5 just because that's what I've told you to do to start with. Okay, so just remember to look eye contact, no blinking. You can even take your glasses off if you've got glasses. Depends if you can see yourself. The idea is to actually see your eyes, so try that. I welcome new opportunities into my life. 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 And it's as easy as that. And I don't know whether you recognize the facial movements that were happening when I was talking. I couldn't help but want to smile at myself. So it does have a positive effect. Hopefully it has a positive effect in your mind and releasing endorphins and help you get more positive about yourself and happy. So I'm really excited to see how you feel about doing this in front of the mirror. For some people, it's really intimidating, but try it when no one else is around and have a go. So it's really, really important that we practice this daily. And I know I've given you a lot over the first 2 weeks. You've got a lot of homework: positive lists, forgiveness affirmations, learning to forgive yourself. I really hope that has leveled in, because that's really important. Unless you forgive yourself, and not at 10 out of 10 level at this moment, a lot of these other stuff might not work. You really have to start to give yourself a break. Self-compassion. And that's what affirmations help you do. And if you are looking for other affirmations to practice during the week, I have 300 positive affirmation videos already on my channel. So you can look that up under positive affirmations. But on the internet, there's loads of examples of what you could write. But the reason I am not drawing you to the internet today with your affirmations, because I really want them specific to you. Because a lot of these other affirmations are general. So get ready, go to your mirror, Take your list of your positives with your affirmations next to them and practice. Take as long as you like. We'll put a pause on the video and I'll see you in a minute. Hi, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed looking at yourself in the mirror and getting a real connection with yourself. We are building a connection with you that is positive. This is the person that is the main ingredient for you finding love in yourself. You have to love yourself, and eye contact, really great way to building the bridges in your mind into your heart. So write down in the comments how you went with that. Give it a score, see if you liked it or not. There are other ways, like through meditation videos or affirmation videos, or you could just say it. You don't need a mirror, but a mirror does help you build that bond with yourself. But it's got to be repetitive, and it's got to be something you believe. So I hope you did really, really well with that. We're going to talk homework now. So as always, I'm giving homework. That's the teacher in me. But these are really important, and it's trying to build a routine in your life where you're looking after you. So it could be writing down on a positive list. It could also be going back and looking at the forgiveness videos and telling yourself you forgive. Doing that activity where you're scrunching a ball up and throwing it in the bin. Telling yourself, I forgive myself. So you might have found other things during the week. Don't just stop now. And today's homework keeps you doing those things. So please continue with week 1 homework. Week 2, I want you to practice in the mirror. Give it a go for a week. If you don't like it in the end, after a whole week of practicing, then move on to something else. But always be practicing these affirmations. Go down your list of positive. I want to see if you can put an affirmation to every positive you've got down on your self-love list. Also, I want to talk about journaling. Some people it doesn't, it works for all people, but some people just don't like writing. And some people don't like gathering their thoughts, or sometimes their thoughts are so quick, they just don't seem to write quick enough. But if you do like journaling, if you are wanting to give it a go, this is a good point now to actually have a nighttime journal before you go to bed about self-love. What you did today, it could be a list of like that. It could be about how you're feeling about the course. It could be related to the course. It could just be related to your day. It could be related to how you might work out from a negative situation you had during the day, how you've got over that, how you still feel positive about yourself. And if you made a mistake, how you've forgiven yourself. So journaling is really, really good. So if you want to start journaling, this week's a really good time to do it. Please put in the comments if you are going to do the journals, because I'd love to hear how that's going with you and how that's developing. But let it flow the way you want it to flow. That's why it's best at night. You feel tired, so you're a little bit more open to relaxing and getting the thoughts together and getting them down. You're not thinking about, oh, I've got to make dinner, or I've got to buy this, I've got to put the kids in bed, or homework, or bath. You're getting rid of all those distractions that cause you to not relax. What did we learn today? Well, we looked at affirmations and how our thinking and our thoughts can be restructured by using them. We can retrain our brain into thinking positively to help us with our positive mindsets. And that was why it was important to use affirmations, because it helped with our self-esteem, our positive mindset, motivation, just our mental well-being overall. Then we did an activity where we looked at our self-love list, picked 3 things out and changed them into affirmations. And we did our second activity where we practiced those affirmations in front of the mirror. So we've done a lot on affirmations over the last 2 weeks. Now we're going to move on. Next week, we're going to be looking at reframing, and which is a more detailed use of retraining our thoughts and what we say to ourselves in our daily lives. And we will be able to use what we've learned over the last 2 weeks, reframing our own thoughts. And this is a really important process that we use daily. I use it every day. Reframing is such an important part of building a positive mindset, building self-love. And we will still be using our affirmations. So what we've learned over the last 2 weeks is an important part of reframing. So that's what we've got to look forward to. Just a reminder before we go is that this is a life skill. It's not something that we do and it's changed and we can stop doing it, because we will regress back into our bad habits, our negative mindset, our negative thought patterns, not forgiving ourselves, things like that. So it's really, really important that we keep practicing all these skills over the next week and for the rest of our lives. It is a daily occurrence. Our mind is so complex that we have to physically think about what we're thinking and saying and change it if we need to. Just a quick reminder about that meditation affirmation video I'm putting out this week. If you watch out for that, I'll put a link in the comment, which hopefully will make you feel good. It's only 5 or 6 minutes, just like our last forgiveness one. So really happy with what we've done over the first 2 weeks. So please do the homework, carry on from last week's homework, carry on writing your affirmations on your positive list, and hopefully you're starting to get a fair list of things, at least 10 I hope by now. But if it isn't, don't worry about it. Go with the ones you've got. And then I want you to practice in a mirror and practice any other way you want to. It could be sitting on a bus. So please do the practice. Please again subscribe, like the video, and please comment on how you're feeling about it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. I hope you've enjoyed the first 2 weeks. Get on with your homework. Remember to always think positively about yourself. We'll see you next week on a journey to self-love. Positive and healing thoughts. Love and light to you all.